So active learning can take many different forms. You could have entire pedagogies of active learning, like team-based learning, problem-based learning, etc. But you can also have smaller activities within a lesson which are active. So I like to incorporate very simple activities to get students having discussions. That's a very simple thing. You can do think, pair, share, where students have a paired discussion and then one representative from the group can share with the class. And you can also do more active things, as in physically active. So what I like to do is I always have my students stand up in a lesson at least once, so that they're moving around, they're talking to different students in the class. And just as simple as having a 2-minute walk around, it can really bring a sense of energy to a class. So I love to do little active components within all of my lessons. So there are many active learning methodologies to choose from, and one that I've experimented with recently is called team-based learning, or TBL. And it's a very interesting methodology which uses a lot of other smaller methodologies like flipped classroom or task-based learning. But since it's all integrated, it creates a very cohesive style of learning for students. And so I experimented about 2 or 3 lessons in my course using TBL mode. And we got very positive feedback from our students. So the next thing I'm going to experiment with is actually trying to transform an entire course into team-based learning mode. So I think it's important for faculty just to be curious about these new approaches and to experiment in a small scale and see what works and what doesn't work.
I call it photo-based storytelling. The assignment requires them to step out into the real world and take photos that represent the concepts or the themes that are covered in the course Global Political Economy. After taking the pictures, the students are expected to come back, sit in their groups, and share the pictures and justify why they took those pictures and the themes they represent. This requires them to discuss and negotiate in their group. An example would be the concept of globalization. In the classroom, the students learn the definition of globalization, the ways in which it manifests in everyday life, the benefits and disadvantages. Then students bring photos that represent globalization. They include a supermarket taken in a mall, of different varieties of cheese from all over the world. Or it could be a picture of a Taiwanese factory manufacturing machinery and electronic equipment spare parts. This method has been successful because students come back and share with me how they never looked at the world like this before, which is through the lenses of political economy. In class, I constantly keep on switching style of delivery, even the content or the methods. Like today we had a 1-hour class which was all about graphs, like national income of ASEAN countries. So I put them all together. So this just so that I adapt, where I see students are like sitting quiet and I say, may I invite you to walk up to the screen and tell me in 2020 what percentage of Vietnamese population was under the age group of 65 and above, and how it will change by 2050. Then that student get up, and then once he does that, everybody's on alert because the teacher will call me. It's a very tiny thing, but this is something I do very quickly once I get that expression that somebody's thinking or yawning.
I would like to share the 2 main active learning activities that I'm currently doing in my class. The first activity is the videos that I share with the students before they come to class. So sometimes I record the video by myself, and sometimes I find in online sources to get the most suitable videos to deliver the knowledge to the student. So instead of deliver the theoretical knowledge in class, I ask the student to prepare everything at home by watching the video. And the second approach that I use is to have the preparatory quizzes. So after the student have watched all the videos and before they come to class, I ask them to do some quiz to help them reflect and recall all the knowledge that they have learned so that they can be better prepared for the class. So that's why in class, most of the time I will ask a lot of questions for the student to recall the knowledge, and I can also test their understandings of the knowledge as well as their ability to apply the knowledge into practical situations. In class, normally after 30 minutes, the class will get very boring. So I try to incorporate as many activities as possible. So the activities that I'm currently doing include quizzes, case study discussion. I also have guest speakers and practical questions. And most of the time, you should also incorporate some humor into your activities, as well as giving the students some extra credits to motivate them to join your activities.